we've been adults for hundreds of years, but from the government's point of view, we're still growing up, and eventually they might want to tell us something about what they've discovered over the decades. There is a rumor that was in U.S. News and World Report a number of months ago that Jimmy Carter might make some unsettling disclosures about the UFO phenomena sometime in December. It's perfect timing. I opened my movie in December, so it's perfect timing.
I was in the White House screening room, and Reagan got up to thank me for bringing the film to show the president, the first lady, and all of their guests, which included Sandra Day O'Connor in her first week as a justice in the Supreme Court, and it included some astronauts. I think Neil Armstrong was there. I'm not 100% certain, but it was an amazing evening. And he just stood up and he looked around the room, almost like he was doing a head count, and he said, "I want to thank you for bringing E.T. to the White House. We really enjoyed your movie." And then he looked around the room and he said, "And there are a number of people in this room who know that everything on that screen is absolutely true." And he said it without smiling. But he said that, and everybody laughed. By the way, the whole room laughed because he presented it like a joke, but he wasn't smiling as he said it.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's KJ from The Scariest Movie Ever. And it looks like Steven Spielberg has a message for us on June 12th, 2026. The movie is called Disclosure Day, and it's all about the big event. It has to do with the day that the Earth meets the aliens. That first clip was pretty interesting, considering Steven Spielberg and the aliens go all the way back to the Reagan administration. Many of you are probably familiar with the famous speech that Reagan gave at the United Nations many years ago, talking about aliens from space and UFOs, and if those things ever came down to the Earth, it would actually join all of us together as one here on the planet, a one world order, if you will. Because if you stick to the biblical view of this reality, and especially in relation to UFOs and aliens, then quickly you realize that there's no such thing. Although there is, right? We're seeing evidence of something, and we're told that these are beings from other planets and galaxies. But the Bible tells us otherwise. The Bible never mentions any of these characters or beings from other planets, which leads many of us to understand that these are demonic and fallen angel beings. These are trickster spirits. And myself and many other people on Earth have been watching for many years, and we've been seeing this story developing, this program developing around a big introduction coming soon. The people of Earth to meet the alien. These Luciferians that run this beast system have been programming the public with these lies for many years. Disclosure Day has the devil's fingerprints all over it, just like so many psychological style operations that take place in this system. We can always find his fingerprints. Even just looking at the poster, the most obvious symbol that stands out is the all-seeing eye. The all-seeing eye of the beast system. The all-seeing eye of Lucifer. This right here is one of the most prominent symbols for this beast system. And we see it in everything. It's even on our money. They took pieces of paper, they wrote their plans on it, and they called it money. These are spells. It's witchcraft. But on the money, we also find the all-seeing eye of the beast system. People have also made note, if you look around the lady's eye, that's a cardinal. You can see there's a bird there. A cardinal, almost like a shadow of a cardinal. And then over on the man's all-seeing eye, you can see the horned creature, or the stag, the deer. I'm seeing many people follow a rabbit hole when it comes to the cardinal and the UFOs and connecting this to the Vatican. And I can certainly see that as well. Because this coming alien UFO introduction has everything to do with religion. We even see this in the trailer for Disclosure Day, which I'll show you. But it also reminds me of a card from the Illuminati card game you may have heard of, which is spiritual storyboarding, insane predictive programming all throughout that game. It was made in '93, and it's predicted all these major events that have happened ever since. And it's not because the person that created it is a prophet It's because he's one of the builders. He knows the plans. It's the same argument with the Mazzini letters for Albert Pike, where they say he predicted 3 world wars. No, he's not a prophet. He's one of the builders. He's one of the Masons, and they know the plans, right? But in this card game, you'll find one of their cards right here, and it's with the UFOs going over the church steeple, and that's on purpose. Because this whole introduction of the aliens and UFOs is really going to rock religion. Especially when some of these beings start talking about panspermia, or the idea that all of us are created by them. And now we look to the stag, we look to the horned creature with the all-seeing eye on Disclosure Day, and that brings us back to Leave the World Behind. It's another one of these movies that was filled with programming for what's coming, and I covered that at the time. Obama produced the film as well. Right there's a picture of Obama giving Steven Spielberg a medal. But this brings us back to Leave the World Behind, because in that film there was a lot of scenes and sequences with the deer, right? With the deer all throughout it, with the stag, the deer. All throughout the movie, they were very mysterious, and they weren't afraid of people anymore. They were coming closer and to the people. So it's very interesting. But I even saw that, even from this poster right here, as a basic representative of the ultimate horned one, the devil himself. And they even hinted at that here on the poster for Leave the World Behind. If you look up here, they actually put in the name of Baal. It starts with the B in Julia Roberts' name, and then just goes down. And you can see B-A-A-L, Baal, the horned one, the ultimate horned one, right? Our greatest enemy, the devil himself. And let's not forget all of the stories of the diseased animals, including deer and stag. We've had the diseased deer, and it started with the rabbits. Remember, they had some strange growths coming out of them, tentacles and horns, black tentacles and horns growing out of these animals, and it wasn't just rabbits, but also deer. Certainly a dark sign of the times, in my opinion. And it's interesting because there's another symbol that the deer reminds me of, and it's this symbol right here, and this is the Mother Goddess symbol. So if you take a look at the Mother Goddess symbol, it looks a lot like the deer, the stag, the horned creatures. And we're living in a time where there's a massive rise of that Mother Goddess worship and spirit. So that would make sense to me as well.
Look at today. Let's. Today is. Today's.
There's 2 of them talking.
There's something else that stood out in the image that I wanted to share with you, and you can see it right here. It has to do with the famous alien face crop circle. On August 15th, 2002, in Sparsholt, Hampshire, England, this crop circle was discovered that appeared to be a bitmapped newspaper-like image of an alien holding a circular disc or a record, and then later it was decoded by an IT programmer named Paul Vigay. And the message was decoded as follows: "Beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. Believe there is good out there. We oppose deception. Conduit closing." It's very interesting. They oppose deception. Meanwhile, I believe they bring it. But, we're dealing with trickster spirits, with liars, right? Demons, fallen angels. The true bearers of false gifts, in my opinion. But here they're warning us, beware the bearers of false gifts. And then there's something else I wanted to share with you as well. So we saw that clip with the interesting language and all the ticks, right? The ticks and clicks. And we actually find that in a tribe called the Sand People, S-A-N, Sand People, and they have a very interesting history. But here's a clip of one of them speaking their language. The noble mantis, the wisdom of the sand people. I think it's really interesting that we hear this language in these movies that's supposed to be coming from so-called aliens, and we actually have something fairly close to it here on Earth, and the closest we come is to the San, the oldest inhabitants of southern Africa, and the claim is they've lived there for at least 20,000 years. They're the world's most ancient race. So we find these people, their dialect is similar to what we hear with the so-called aliens. But did you know these people have a fascination with the mantis? And also, did you know that the mantis alien is the third most popular alien that people report seeing? And I'm actually doing a live show on the mantis here in just a couple days. The Bushman or sand people of Africa have a fascination for the praying mantis, and they love the small insect. The mantis created many things and appears in numerous myths. As I mentioned, it's a very popular form of the so-called aliens also. He can be foolish, wise, or helpful, so a trickster most likely, right? The Khoisan people of southern Africa worshipped the praying mantis. They believe that he gave them words and fire. As they are also a small people, they appreciate the mantis' place in nature, although whenever they walk on the African landscape and feel the animal eye upon them, it was the small mantis that they worship and neither of the big five. They converse and weave stories about the mantis, and they see things through its eyes, and they learn to value the little things in life. This is a pretty long article, very in-depth, but it goes to show you that these people are truly into the mantis, into the worship of the mantis, the praying mantis. And as I mentioned, the mantis is also a very, very popular form for these demons to take, these fallen angels, these tricksters, in the form of a alien from another planet altogether. I also want to take a look at the trailer and show you a few parts here, because I took away something really interesting from all of this, and it has to do with a subject we talk a lot about, which is demon face syndrome, or people around us that aren't quite human. There's a lot of people who are taking that angle, and they're saying that it's aliens, that aliens are living amongst us, and I'll show you some of that in a little bit. But that's what I take away from this commercial, because if you watch the commercial closely, there's a sequence where you actually do see a shapeshift take place. So I think it's very interesting that we're starting to see the subject of the shapeshift coming in with this movie. And it's a subject we've been following for a few years here now. And people have documented examples out there of people's faces appear to be shifting, right? Very interesting. But to begin with, in the trailer, we see right here, there you have the mysterious deer showing up, just like Leave the World Behind, right? And now you see the hand closing in on the cross, right? Again, this is all about that. It's all about it, because you gotta pay attention to the very end of the trailer. I'll show you what they say at the very end. So you got the hand closing in on the cross. You got the little girl with all of the monarch butterflies on her wall. So this is ultra style with the MK, if you know what I'm talking about. Very common symbol of that. Now we look right here, and it looks like these people are possessed, right? Like there's something else is taking over. Just like when the lady newscasters start speaking that alien dialect, something took her over. So these beings are taking people over, possessing their bodies perhaps. And now you look at this sequence right here, and here's the shape shift. Just pay attention. It's the older lady now, and as the camera crosses over, there's your shift, right? So we got the shifters in this movie. But then to cap it all off, you have to listen to the very end of the trailer, and this really is the message. And once again, it's that overused message time and time again. Well, the universe is so big, God had to make other beings and creatures out there, right? This is all setting us up perfectly for a massive satanic deception. So speaking of which, go ahead and check out this. This is the end message of the trailer. I tried sharing this clip in my original production, but YouTube doesn't like it, so I can't really play clips from the trailer. That's why I've been showing just kind of some still images here and there. But I did want to share this at the very end. You can go watch the trailer for yourself if you want to see this. But at the very end, they have a nun. Of course, they have a cross over here next to her. She's saying, why would God create such a vast universe only for us at the very end there? And that's the last part of the trailer. Why would he create such an immense, amazing, huge universe only for human beings? So, once again, this is one of those, it's a very tired argument, but I see it all the time. Oh, the universe is so big, there has to be other life out there. But no, people are feeding into this deception big time, as you know. But I wanted to share that with you. If you're interested, go check it out for yourself, and you'll see what I mean. So it would seem that Steven Spielberg, among many others in this world, are preparing us for our alien saviors, which of course is not true, and I hope you understand that's not true. This is a major deception that's coming upon the world. I've been tracking it myself for many years, and we're so close, especially after seeing this. It's pretty obvious, right? So make sure to really trust in Christ in these days, man. Just trust in Jesus. Lean into Jesus during these highly deceptive days, because there's more coming. And it's really going to get bonkers here, as if it already wasn't, right? But we can always go back to Christ and find our peace. Remember that. I do it every single day. You've got to. But keeping all of that in mind, I mean, just take a look at the state of the world as it is. It's like we're perfectly set up for this alien deception. You may have seen this. This just happened recently, and it was a statue of the Statue of Liberty. And people actually recorded it. This is in Brazil, I believe. They recorded it collapsing. It's pretty obvious, kind of right on point, but one of those physical manifestations of America collapsing. It's pretty interesting, and America is definitely in a lot of battles right now, as you know, in these crazy, crazy times. So we had that example right there, just something interesting I had noticed this past week. I'd seen some people talking about it, but there's also something else. This display showed up out in the desert over the last week or so, and a lot of people have been talking about this as well. It looks like, a demonic portal. Looking closely here, you got all the tentacles, the all-seeing eye, the beast, and all the rest, right? It looks like a really evil, demonic type of a portal, and I'd read that this is supposed to be related to a video game, and that's what people have been saying, is like, just calm down. It's just a marketing ploy for a video game. But, we'd seen that before. They did the same thing with Lilith a while back. They put Lilith, the demon, in a video game, and then they marketed that through Kentucky Fried Chicken. They sold you some fast food and some kind of gifts with Lilith or tickets for the game or whatever it was. But I remember that happened for a while too. So it's not unusual for them to do this kind of a thing. It's just a video game, guys. Nothing to see here. But we see in the spirit, is what it is. We're not just on the flesh tip here. We're not just looking at what's before us and buying the official story on anything, right? So these are real, to me, demonic manifestations manifesting here in the physical. And I think this is a great example of that. And there's something else many people have been talking about, which is the Zac Brown Band. You may have heard about this. They had a concert at the Sphere in Vegas, and it was incredibly demonic. Tons of demonic imagery all throughout. So I'll just play a few of these right here. You can check them out. But even look at the outside of the Sphere, marketing for this concert. And, you can see, as you watch right here, you'll see the collapse of the firmament, the gates of hell opening up, the fallen angels, all of it, man. All right? Oh, but this is for a concert. Nothing to see here. It's okay, guys. Calm down. It's just a country music concert. Okay. But then, of course, we see the demonic stuff happening on the inside as well. So I'll play both of those for you and just check these out. A truly demonic display, man, right out there in the public. I mean, showing that whole story on the sphere from the outside to all those eyes just passing by, and nobody really thinks much of it. I don't want to say nobody, most people, because there are people like us that pay attention, but most people don't see it for what it is. But a very demonic, wicked display overall, man. But hey, it's a concert. Calm down, right? Or hey, it's a video game. Relax, dude. No, no. No, wickedness is manifesting at an accelerated rate right now in this world. That's an absolute. And I've been watching this for years, and it's getting a lot more intense and crazy. But, the beauty is, I'm not scared. I'm not freaking out. I don't spaz out over any of this stuff because I've got Christ. And this actually concludes what I wanted to share with you in this video. But most importantly, I hope that you have accepted that free gift of salvation from Jesus. Don't freak out, because it's not about religion or being religious all of a sudden. It's simply a relationship with your Creator, the Creator of all things, including you, who knew you before you were born. He wants to be reunited with you for eternity. So please, please choose Christ in these days, guys. You got one of two choices, and that's it. And we're on the doorstep of tribulation. So all of this alien madness, we ain't seen the end of it. We're just getting started, okay? All this stuff's coming in, and it'll be stacked on top of other deceptions and chaos and all the rest, right? So we're watching the end of this system and the beginning of the final system, which will be the most wicked of all. So stay aware, stay wise in these days. Most importantly, have Christ, man. Utilize the eyes to see and the ears to hear. You have to. We see this world in the spirit, because we're not fighting against the flesh. We fight against spirits and principalities. Ancient wisdom, ancient intelligence, but it's okay, because guess what? You got the Holy Spirit, you got him beat. Period. You'll have the eyes to see, the ears to hear, and you won't have to be deceived your entire life. So please choose Christ, guys. And on that note, I'll just say thanks once again for checking out my video. I truly hope that you're all doing well out there. So thank you again. And just take care of yourselves, okay? Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. So thank you.